living? Well, as usual on Fridays, it's Better Retirement with Citizen Advisory Group, and we're talking to Jeff today. We're going to talk about 401ks and how to get the most out of them. I think that's probably the retirement tool that most people are familiar with and know about.
Absolutely. Well, you know, things changed not too long ago. We used to have the pensions and defined benefit plans where we were going to get a set amount a month, and not that long ago we changed to it's up to you to save the money in this 401k generation. So I think it's important to first off just even understand what you can do. And so,
because there are some limits, right?
Yeah, there's some limits. So the first thing to understand is if I'm 50 and under, $18,000 is the maximum per year that I can contribute for this year. That's quite a big chunk of change. That's $1,500 a month. If I'm older than 50, there's a catch-up phase, they call that, and we can go up to $24,000. So, you know, we have to understand that and try to figure out, can we start to save some money? If we're not saving any, $18,000 might be a daunting task.
Yes.
So we have to start somewhere, but those are the limits. I think it's important that we understand that and try to strive to getting more and more into these plans, because at the end of the day, that's what we're going to live on once we get to retirement.
Yes, and we all want to be able to do the things that we want to do in retirement.
That's what it's all about.
What are some ideas or ways we can boost that contribution?
Well, first off, I think it's important to understand the investments that are available to you and the fees and costs that are associated with them. Most investments that are going to be included in those 401ks are going to have expenses. Many times, expenses or higher cost does not mean a better investment. Many times, cheaper cost means better investment. So I think that is kind of the first thing. Another thing we can look at to try to start getting more money into plans is when we receive a raise. Oh man, it's hard to take that money back away, but we get that raise, and instead of taking it all, it was money we didn't have last month or last year. Let's start to put a little bit of that raise back into the 401k. It's as if it wasn't even there, so it shouldn't really impact our standard of living.
That makes sense. If you get a 2% raise, if you even split that in half and you put 1% of it in your 401k, that could make a big difference for you. There are some places, I know it's fewer than before, but there are some places that will match your 401k contribution.
Absolutely.
Does that still fall into those limits, the 18,000 or the 24,000?
Well, the 18 and 24 are things that you can do. So that would go above and beyond any type of matching. And that's another thing that's very, very critical, to understand what will your company do for you. Matching is an area where some people don't even put what's being given by the company into the plan. So there's companies that'll do a 3% match. If we just do 3%, they're going to give us 3%.
Right.
I just made a 100% gain on my investment, basically.
You should do that.
It's free money. It's like extra compensation, really. And so, but some of us don't even save that. And so it's very important to understand their rules, so we're maximizing what they're getting us and giving us as well.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, at Citizen Advisory Group, I know we've talked about this before, you are try and help us, you know, as we're planning our retirement. You guys have a white paper that kind of lays out those strategies to getting the most out of your 401k.
Yeah, you know, I think it's important that we educate ourselves so we understand, because, you know, I call this 401k generation the 401 chaos generation, because I think many of us are going to not have enough money to have those golden years that we've always been dreaming and thinking about. And so so we've developed a white paper you can find at retirement.citizenadvisory.com, and you can go there and download it right there, or you can go to our site at citizenadvisory.com and find it there as well.
I think we've got that on a slide for people so that they can see that, actually see the website up there. That always helps when you can do that. But I'm going to find that resource if I go to that retirement.citizenadvisorygroup.com, but I'm also going to find a bunch of other stuff too, right?
Yeah, our website's pretty robust, so we try to have information there for all the different financial decisions that you're going to make as you're getting near retirement or in retirement. So, you know, those that are getting closer, we're 10 years out from retirement, and even if you are retired, we have so many resources all the way from the investments you choose to the 401k to health care and long-term care, everything that's required on those financial decisions.
You guys have some educational dinner events. We've talked about some of those over the last few weeks. Tell me what type of topics you discuss in those.
Well, we basically have two different dinners. One is just a generic financial retirement dinner. I think that's for those that are getting near retirement, that are trying to plan. We talk about income planning. How do you turn your 401k into income? That's just a lump sum of money. How do we get it to be a paycheck to us once we retire and live on it every month? We talk about what might happen if the markets would crash. What's going to happen with Social Security? We even have our own Social Security seminars that are completely different, and that's the only topic we go over. And so very, very detailed on the different Social Security planning techniques that you can use as well.
Well, you need a whole event to talk about that because that can be very confusing and there's a lot to talk about. We have a graphic that shows your upcoming dates that you have coming up for these educational dinners. So let's talk about those while we show people exactly when and where they are.
Yeah, well, so we've got dinners coming up, financial seminar in the first week of February. It's actually next week on Thursday, and that's going to be held at Mancy's Italian. Again, that's going to be more of a general market and investment type of workshop where you're going to learn how to invest your money and then how to turn that into income in retirement. And then towards the middle of the month, we have Social Security seminars. So those that are getting close to that Social Security decision or are just curious to understand your options, it's a great workshop to learn about all the different Social Security strategies you can use. And as you mentioned, very confusing, very many choices. And so we try to make it as simple as possible, and that's what that dinner is all about.
Well, make sure if you want to go to any of these dinners, you RSVP for them because they will fill up.
They fill up quickly.
Yes.
So.
And it's important information. Of course, if you want more information about 401ks or any other topic, again, you can get those resources under the resources tab at citizenadvisorygroup.com. It's just citizenadvisory.com. I almost added another word in there at citizenadvisorygroup.com. So make sure you go there and start planning for that retirement today. They can always help you with that. We'll talk again next Friday about something else we can do to save some money. We'll be right back.